Who doesn't love a nice, juicy burger? But you know something? Here in Miami, we have something as good and as tasty, or maybe even better. It's a Cuban steak sandwich, and that's what we're making today. Easy to cook, filled with flavor, caramelized onions on top, tomato slices, and what's gonna take this sandwich to the next level is our jalapeno aioli. It's going to be out of this world. Let's get cooking. So we're gonna start off by using some thin slices of beef. We're gonna season these with salt, a little black pepper, and a little cumin. The next step, we're gonna get a nice hot pan and we're gonna drizzle some good olive oil. My favorite part about this recipe is that not only is it easy to cook, but it's super fast. Here we go, steak one. And now we're gonna season the other side. We just want some nice onion slices so that we could caramelize while the steak is cooking. So we want to cook our steaks about 2 minutes per side. And once it has that nice, beautiful brown color, we want to flip it to the other side and do the same thing. Look at that beauty. Now once we flip over our steaks, we're going to add our onions so that they get that nice caramelized color. And of course you get that nice sweet flavor that you get when you have caramelized onions. And this is gonna take our Cuban steak sandwich to the next level. So now we're gonna start with our garlic and jalapeno aioli. An aioli is usually a mayo with different flavors, and this one is no different, filled with a nice kick from the jalapeno and our garlic. So we're gonna start off by adding some mayo. Whole garlic cloves because we want that nice punch. Now we're gonna throw in some pickled jalapenos. And these are gonna add a nice little kick to it. Very important to add some of that nice jalapeno juice. Here we go. So we're gonna transfer this over to a nice little bowl so that we can start assembling our Cuban steak sandwich. Look how beautiful our steak looks. Nice caramelized cooked onions, ready to eat. So that's ready. So we have our tomato slices, we have our aioli, we have these potato sticks. If you can't find potato sticks in your local grocery store, you can make them yourself. Just use a nice grater and grate some regular potatoes and fry them. And then we have our steaks, and last but not least, we have our Cuban bread. Nothing like Cuban bread. I remember as a child, we would wake up at 4:30 in the morning with my mom and we would go pick up our Cuban bread for a restaurant. Going inside that bakery was always an amazing experience, smelling the fresh Cuban bread being freshly made. Nothing like it. So we're gonna use our Cuban bread. Of course, you can use any bread you desire, but I like this one. Why? Because we're making a Cuban steak sandwich. That requires Cuban bread. So we're gonna cut off the ends, unless you like the end, that's fine. And this looks like an okay size for me. We're gonna slice it, cut it in half. And don't worry, it's a little bit of a mess, but you know, messes are good when it comes to food. So, we're ready to assemble this. I'm so excited because this is what cooking is all about. It's about creating something delicious and then you get to enjoy it and eat it. So, we want to put a little bit of our aioli on each side. My mouth is already watering. Next is our Cuban steak. Look at that delicious bad boy right there. Let's put in some caramelized onions. Look at that. Now I'm using one slice of steak, but you could put two, you could put three. You can make it a double smack, triple smack, whatever you call it. But I'm just using one today. We're gonna put our tomato slices like this. And we're gonna put our potato sticks right there. using a bread knife. You could either slice it in half like this, but I'm gonna slice it like my mom taught me as a child. Look at that. So now it's time to try this bad boy. I'm super excited because this is something I have been eating since I was a child, since my mom used to make it at our family restaurant. Look at that. Here we go. I'm gonna take a small bite, I promise. That kick that the jalapeno adds to the garlic aioli, the saltiness of the steak, the flavor of the caramelized onions, that tomato that brings it all together, and then of course the Cuban bread. This is something you need to try at home, and it's easy to make, so I dare you to try it at home. Perfect for any day of the week. And even for breakfast, add a nice little egg on top, and it's the perfect breakfast sandwich. Enjoy.